They'll chew you up and spit you out beyond a doubt. They will throw down and blow your ass away.
Yo, what's up gamers? Welcome back, and sorry for being kind of late with this one. I've been busy but relatively good still, and hope you're the same. And on top of that, it's been kind of hard finding the motivation to play lately. Like, I'm having a writer's block moment for coming up with the synthetic big picture approach that doesn't include something I've already done on other characters like half a dozen times already. So I ended up not playing the Easter event much altogether, didn't even log on at all since last video. So we have a couple of leftover exchange items. I think those will just be hoarded for next year, because you know, it's a multi-year grind type of server, so no problemo with that. I think the main thing I missed out on had to have been that gold compass. Like, I could have gotten a week's worth more of compasses if I had played, or just logged on, and you know, I bet that would have gotten us straight to 4th job or pretty darn close on top of everything else we'd be doing. You know, that's when the class would actually become good, which I'm going to need to happen soon, because I am not enjoying 3rd job. I think this is a super underwhelming thing until it finally isn't, and I'll have more thoughts to talk about later. I had to get motivated to take the more challenging manual grind approach while also resisting the urge to like sell split leech to level the buck, especially because of how tempting it is now since my mace reserves are like finally used up by the end of this session. Like, I've been pretty much spending non-stop to maintain my other accounts since the Iron Man got made, and those dark grinds used up all my energy to make money on the main. The daily attack pots, you know, and fighting this buck all together. I got like 100 mace still left. Anyways, getting on video topic here, started things off at Korean Folktown from our stopping point last time. So the thinking then was to get those King Goblin food and Nine-Tailed Fox prequests done. So I'm just after the 3 Goblin card sets and the decent kind of quest EXP from that quest. We also hit the Mulan quest that overlapped while we were at it. I think I've decided on Legendary Collector now since those quest medals are probably like gonna be a one-time thing for me. I think I enjoy the process of hunting monster cards infinitely more because most of them are fun to collect. And some of those sets might even steer us into an EXP grinding path, so that'll be new ideas, and I'll just think of alternate ways that I'm sure on decks to wear a KC or something. Just anything besides grinding like 600 more quests. Anything besides that. Maybe if we were playing Iron Man, but that is going to be the hardest pass for me for the standard playthrough. But yeah, pretty unremarkable stuff questing wise, and then after we're done there, finally get on the ball with PPQs. I kind of got that speedrun PQ vibe from just how simple and I guess EXP efficient this PQ is. It's just comprised of running right, clearing weak monsters, and collecting 60 of those combined pyre symbols, hoping for good key RNG, and just downing an easy boss. Like, they can get done in like 5 minutes. Yeah, something around that. Just the main thing is just to not seal those doors too early, since that removes, you know, a mob spawn. In case you're trying to look for keys. So I think it's just better to wait until you have all 4 before you start dropping them on the doors. So kind of caught a moment there to poke our head in the FM as you saw for those magic rocks and some average pyro knuckles we're going to scroll with later. Just nothing too crazy going on in this first half aside from some PQ spam and just a relatively fast leveling pace we're getting out of it. But you know, it kind of becomes a grind after we're doing 10 in a row once the initial nostalgia wears off. Just PPQ gets a little repetitive and OPQ is tedious to begin with when I'm like doing it a lot. So I broke up this PQing into 16 OPQs and 30-ish PPQs over like 4 bursts that are scattered throughout. I'm deciding not to include them this time since it's been in like 3 other videos, and I'm not going to be doing any more of the focused questing or messing around with the captain's key for PPQ, because I think the quest specialist and 97% virtuoso I got, that is going to be like a one-time thing for me. Like, I would need 600 more quests at this point to get to specialist, and I think the questing in purgatory videos were definitely up there as like one of the more straight up painful ones to make. It's just so grindy, and I'll space out, especially when it's like kind of brutal or convoluted for things like CWK prequest, which we're doing later. And I won't even realize that I've spaced out. Just kind of very disorganized, makes my playing very scattered. And I'd much rather grind the card sets because I genuinely enjoy that, as long as I don't go too hard. Just keep it enjoyable. Like, I've done it before once on Taunt, which helped a lot, and the initial card sets went real fast. Felt like I accomplished a lot, and it was kind of fulfilling to do. Just that 350 to 400 push to total sets was kind of a grind. That's where it got a little bit rough. but it's going to be the move for us, I think, since dodging 600 quests is going to be just the best option psychologically, and that legendary collector medal is actually better for us in the very late game. That 3-weapon attack is going to scale better over the +7 all stat from Virtuoso, I think. Although it's probably going to make a potentially tedious scrolling grind later on to get that right scroller pass on the right equipment. I just need to be able to wear a DSC or, KC at the very least. Because I'm like 5 decks away from a KC, and that's the one that matters most, I think. It's just 15 decks. That DSC is going to have to be like damn near perfect for me to want to commit to that. But, moving on, we get onto those daily APQs. We get some really nice ones back to back. We got like 15, 10 apples. So that's 25 total just from two runs. I mean 8, I guess. I just love these apples because they're kind of pretty. I love staring at them. And they're kind of doubling as attack bots and bartering currency for me right at this point, because I pretty much run out of meso, so I'm just paying for everything with apples. And I think they're like 6.5 mil a pop, so they got some purchasing power behind it if you can like stack them up. We get to Mulong, we got Tayrune's King Sage Cat down for Olaf 4. Show some surprise and restraint here, and I only clear 1 of each, but probably gonna end up popping like a new monster galore or something just for the rest. I feel like I honestly should have gone for him because we gotta get more annex to gash more tickets, and that's the kind of entertaining stuff I think, and I kind of want to get more. But like we were talking about, we go back to OPQ and PPQ and get those done, and that's going to be the last you'll see of those PQs, finally. And afterwards you go on to Aqua to get the Monster Rider skill. A little bit conflicted on it, but I was kind of thinking ahead to Silver Main since right now it's a little bit redundant for transformation. Same movement speed while we're in either one, but I've got the Hawk to level 4, so once we're 120 it'll become Silver Main once we get the mats also, farm those. And I think it's going to be relevant since I'm not going to be in Super Transformation or Transformation all the time in 4th job. We got more playing options like Dragon Strike and Barrage. I don't know if that's applicable, but fast mounting up and moving around for mobility is going to be sort of a playstyle, I think. So yeah, I captured the pig, and I think we're going to name him Little Terry. So Little Terry the pig, or Silvermane, soon to be. Go on to Korean Folktown and grab a Ninetales, and while we're there we kind of finish up with that area. But here's the kind of news about the Fangs, and you might not gonna like this, but I didn't scroll them. So an OPQer we were with made us like an impromptu offer of like 9 mil to buy their 6 strength 91 attack White Fangs, and I bought it. Feeling that was kind of generous on purpose in a helpful sort of way. Looked at it, didn't seem crazy good either, because I'm gonna want to play with the 100 attack or higher KC, and I just buy because I think I'm gonna try to one up this in the scrolling session we're gonna have later, or at least try to. Anyways, got a voiceover segment coming up, and this is when I hadn't logged on in a while, so it's basically just me trying to get a grip on the character and try to get a plan of action going for how I'm gonna play. I had done my minimum MP calculation while wearing all the equipment that gives me MP, so as a result I ended up buying way too many APRs, kind of overcalculate, and we could have had a bigger Gach run at the end if I hadn't done that. But on the upside, we do have enough APRs to last us for a while now, I guess. Maybe until 4th job. And maybe we could even sell a couple if we spot something in the FM and just need some fast cash. We were short or something like that. We're on to get Olaf 3 turned in, or 4, I forget. But then we're ramping up to do Alinea HP quest and some other kind of grindy chain quests. But we'll talk about more of that in the next segment, and I'll catch up with you then. Woo-wee, it's been a while. Let's see, I haven't logged on since, I guess, the last video. I guess part 1 was just kind of boring and PQs, so time for the fun stuff. I don't even know what's going on with this character anymore. But before I left, I made like a little checklist. Goddess Glove Scrolling BPQ. That's it. I think I should shoot for Balrog PQ at like 95 because I don't even know how much experience that gives. And I might want to get a couple rolls. So we got 9 levels to get the trio range. And then we gotta try to do a Bigfoot. Maybe get a few levels more in between. Check out the accuracy requirements and do some scrolling. Let's just roll, see what... Okay, we're gonna play on channel 12 today. That's what the higher power has decided. And then let's calculate minimum MP. 86 times 16, right? I gotta go dig up that equation again. 1 sec. Oh shoot, that's so many washes. Do I even have enough like NX for this? We have to buy 49 APRs. Let's see. Use, etc. It's just gotta be enough. I was hoping to get some, like a big Gachin. 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 48, 49. Whew. Let's just get one more level up so I get like 2 more. Alright. That's a lot of APR. Let's just count how much money this is. 54 times... What do they go for, 11.5 mil nowadays? That's 621 mil. Dang, that's a lot. Wait, I can only watch 32 times. What am I doing? What are you doing, man? Okay. Let's go. Try to do this quickly. I think we had a commenter asking if fresh, AP points going into HP gives you more HP, as opposed to resetting MP into HP, like that. Like, see, it's only 18. Whereas when we go use the APR method, where we've gotten like 36 to 40 HP, which is a significant amount. Watch a lot. Last one. And that will do it. Looking good. That's a lot of HP, man. Holy crap. Oh, I forgot. Let's number 1 on the item list. Let's get our goddess wristband. Let's go get that. It's gonna be, I think, 5 more weapon attack increase. Nice. Let's go get you. Oh yeah. Let's go. That's nice. My short range go up by. Nice. So that's the glove taken care of for now. I think that's good enough, pre-major bossing phase. I'm just all over the place right now. There's also one thing I needed to test, is I want to see if I can do like a Shockwave macro. Kind of like, demo canceling. So when this is like fully off cooldown, I can cancel my current transformation, because I think this one's 2 minutes and this is 1 minute. So at 1 minute in, I can go like boom, hit this macro while in a Shockwave and go like double Shockwave maybe. So Shockwave is F. So let me see if I can get this. Oh, that works. That's so cool. I don't know if it has any application though. It probably has 0 application, because Shockwave does like, it'd be like no difference. Neat. I just have to practice that for when I have to do it with demo. So we're back, and here's where an underlying issue with my playing style becomes more apparent, I think, because I just overanalyze getting HP for a class that honestly doesn't rely on it all that much. It's just that I had a really bad experience playing with low HP on my Night Lord, where, the only option we had to get HP was to wash, and if you didn't have an understanding of it, you'd have very little, accumulated excess MP to wash into HP. So I was having to deal with like trivial things, getting one shot by a buffed HT stomp, and I'd main thief in GMS, so I was super invested in my Night Lord here, and I just played like that with a pocket HP buddy for years, and I swore to never do that again, never put myself in a position to not have HP. That being said, I guess the lasting impact of that experience is that I am pretty much like fly attracted to shit with these additional HP options they've added, like the questing and Olaf, and I guess reels as well. Even though I felt like I was better off going for a straight EXP grind like an early Himaze, since I can hit those easily with sniper pills now at like 169 accuracy. But nope, everything has felt kind of grindy lately, especially with the excess PQing, so I figured I'd kind of just stick to that theme for now at least. And that's essentially what's going on screen here. Just getting the mats for a linear HP quest, getting some slight extra each time, so it's not so bad the next, because there's like 5 parts to this total. Last time I remember people were selling the full, item set for like 200 mil, so this grind is kind of like saving money in exchange for, I guess, time. The important thing once you've climbed up to the top of Linear, when you're filling the chalice of water, is to use a return scroll, because jumping down is going to put you in sleepy wood, I think. and maybe it's kind of a pain getting a taxi from there. But the next grinding segments here are the Pop Lotta's prequests and the entire CWK PQ quest line. I got reminded of CWK prequests when I did Pearl Peace quest item drop on the way down to Clock Tower, and I go grab those 2 quests from Missing the Collector since I want to try and get the Omok set reward. I'm pretty into the game myself, got 4th place in our guild Omok tournament out of 16 players. And plus I see the item on sale for 200 mil in the FM, so the quest is always on my radar for these new characters. But this time we get absolute shit from him. Get a wand forging manual, some useless scroll. But this Clock Tower area is pretty OG area, I think. A lot of activity back then when there weren't that many good grinding options we had. So a lot of us would go here. Getting 3 attacking is pretty grindy. The rest of the chain is pretty much grind free, so not much to speak on with pop requests. Although getting to do the grind here gave me a chance to really play Marauder at their mid-3rd job state. And I think this will be a good segue into my thoughts on how I'm enjoying this class so far. Because all in all, Marauders feel like they've got a long ramp time, because it basically still feels like I'm playing a hasted 2nd job brawler with an energy meter. The Shockwave was an impressive ability at first when I first brought it out at PPQ. Great clear speed with those long flat platforms and high mob density. And I kind of noticed later at Crimson Woodkeep when we're grinding that the Shockwave hitbox is kind of larger than what it appears, since it also hits slightly above the character. So it's got a wide hit range and good range also laterally if you're standing on a flat section of the platform, since the trajectory goes all weird if the ground bends and moves, curves. And it's got a pretty hard singular hit for being in 3rd job if it lands. On an apple, I was hitting 26k with a Shockwave line at the Balrog, which seems pretty decent considering I got 96 AP and int right now. But the cons of this ability for me are the novelty and excitement about this skill wore off really fast for me. Because I think Shockwave isn't flashy or effective enough as a skill to maintain my interest for too long. Because I know I'm never using this skill again after 4th job. It's got a 1-second wind-up time where I lose control of my character and I'm just wide open, taking any damage. It's quite literally like I'm throwing repeated haymaker punches, especially at our next boss, which is HH, which is kind of funny to imagine every time I'm doing it. I can't stop thinking that it's just my only means of attacking is throwing this haymaker ability. So this has been super noticeable for me when my energy meter bubble isn't up, because I usually lean into or away from the damage where it's coming from, so I can land where I want and not have to reposition so much between every attack, because my character acts like they've been shot by a machine gun every time they're hit. I'm usually having to climb back up something if I'm hit near the edge of a platform, just every time. And my bubble stance effect only lasts for around 40 seconds, and it takes time to recharge. It doesn't last too long, so I have to maintain it by somersault kicking balls of mobs, or I have to resort to flash fisting bosses. Stun mastery looks like such a bad skill if the mobs have to be actively stunned to be effective, since backswing slow is my only stunning attack, right? And it only catches on 3 mobs. And I'd only get 1 or 2 attacks off before that stun wears off. So I'm gonna have to check if this will synergize with any of our 4th job skills. But if it was a passive that made all of my attacks have a chance at stunning, then I'd be a lot more about it. Energy charge took a while to get high enough rank for viable charging speed, because I think you need at least 20 here to have it be semi-viable with the multi-target somersault kick charging method. Because that hefty SP investment into that crucial skill is the slow ramp I was talking about. As for the other skills we have, they all seem to kind of need a decent energy charge to have an easier time at keeping it up. So I feel like those wouldn't make much sense, skilling before a rank 30 energy charge or something, for that faster charging speed and longer bubble duration. Anyways, I go for my first couple of HHs here, and they die really easily, but it's just kind of boring, and it only gives me around 36% EXP per kill with an HS. And I'm on apples for this, and each one took me around 10 minutes at level 87, which was kind of a shock to me, since I was killing these HHs at level 90 on an undergeared Dark Iron Man using stoppers. It only took me 5 minutes each one on that Iron Man. All I gotta say is, 4th job better blow my mind away, because I am already so bored with these, 3rd job movesets. At the very least, this is better than playing a Crusader, being stuck with Slash Blast and Power Strike for, all 3rd job, since our 2nd job skills are way cooler. Especially that Corkscrew Punch, my favorite ability so far. And headed on down to Wolf Spires to kind of just test it out. EXP was very good, as expected for, classic map like this, but grinding those stair sections was just a pain, since Shockwave doesn't work so well when it's sloped like that. And for that alone, I didn't really commit to the map. But coming up next are the actual preparations we're going to be doing to make that next scrolling session a reality. But right here, we're going to get a little warm-up, a little scrolling warm-up, and I'll catch it up with you right after this. Alrighty, so it's the first Gach. I've been rolling just a D20 dice on Google to pick the channel, and today's channel 19. Let's just see the luck first. I'm just gonna scroll this pet equipment for speed. Maybe a little redundant, because transformation gives us, the maximum possible. But we'll just kind of test out the luck. Oh, that's not good. Second try. Okay. That's kind of standard, I guess. Yeah, so right here we were just mainly looking for ammunition like a chaos or other potentially useful scrolls. So I mean, pretty average 35 ticket run results, because I mean you can't expect too much with 35 tickets only. And I figure we can just buy any of the missing scrolls we might run into later during our session. But on the topic of purchases, I go on a small spending spree later with the last of my racer reserves. I mean, I kind of knew clean above average pirate overalls, you know, went for a premium, but damn, does the price add up when you start like buying multiple, you know, sets of them. So I had to make, you know, a kind of a brief DIY attempt to grind some of the level 90 overalls at Memory Lane 1 monks, but it's kind of hard to get behind that idea because I want to be simultaneously knocking out the 999, you know, kill quest while we were looking. Just, you know, being more efficient about it by not having to replicate the big grinds. So we need to be at level 91 to accept that quest, so I guess we'll wait till then. And I do a thing by exferring over a 2 attack clean PGC just in case, you know, I become impatient and want to chaos it for some reason. And buy the 9-8 Pioneer and a 7-9 Marquini for around like 80 mil combined. Found out our Guildie was about to hit level 200 and that was going to be happening in GPQ. So we joined up with Northern again and make it to that celebration for him. So yeah, congrats to Freya. That's a pretty hype thing. Congrats. And we actually LBQ with him not too long ago and Bucced Up number 2. Was kind of thinking about exploring some other small guilds as like a fresh member who didn't know anybody, just out of the circle. Since I think the more established guilds, you know, on here all kind of brush shoulders with each other in one way or another. Kind of all know each other. So just wanted to maybe experience a fresh setting, just try to re-experience that, but maybe I'll just save it for a future character because I kind of want to play with my guild right now. And coming up here, we're going to have our first Gach run in and have our second scrolling session with the voiceover, so I'll link with you again afterwards. Alrighty, I believe it's that time to scroll. So we're going to run into some accuracy problems already. Like, we are 3 short, I think. So we got to fix that. And also with the white fangs. I don't really have a solution right now, except to try to go for 2 more decks here with the 60. Yeah, I just don't know. Maybe I have to pump 5 more, get to 25 decks, and just do that for 1 level. My thinking is go for the earring first. And yes. Please pass. Yes! 10 decks. 2 for 3 today. That is what I'm talking about. That was pretty lucky. What was this, like 3 70s and 2 60s or something like that? I forget. But what is coming up next? Ah, the overalls. We can go knuckle or overall next. I got some couple nice ones here. The Pioneer's the big one. That's the juicy overall. Let's try one on this Marquini, this mediocre one. Alright. Okay, that failed, but it didn't boom. I got a bad feeling. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I believe. Maybe I'm starting to believe again. Fingers crossed. Oh, dang it. At least it didn't explode. We try again. Phew. 0 for 3 so far, but no booms. That's really odd. That kind of sucks. Alright, we'll go on this last one. Last one is Marquini. Is that how you pronounce it? Marquini? Oh, 0 for 4, but no booms. Dang it. Well, that means it's saving some fire for the knuckles, I suppose. Oh my god, we get a good KC. We can't even wear it. We have some major dex problems. Because I failed those overalls. We have to try again. If I have to liquidate or merch a little bit. You know what? Let's go big on this king cent right here. Knuckle 30. No. Goodbye. 0 for 5. Try it on this Pyro Knuckle. again. Okay, that one passed. 74 attack. What's ours at? 80. Let's try one more 30. No boom. One more 30. Come on. Yikes. Jeez. Alright. Come on. Okay. I think I've had enough with the 30s for now. Got this weird scarab right here, 1242. Let's throw a claw 30, see what that does. Oh, goodbye. Oh, wow. I was hyping up this scrolling session and it's so lame. It was so lame. Got some 10%. Need to clear some inventory space anyway. Just throw 4 of these just for amusement. Oy. And we got a 1 dex issue with no real gains. Dang, couldn't have 1 overall 30 I've gone through. Bad day for 30s, I suppose. What were we, 1 for 6? 1 for 5, 1 for 6, or something like that? Can this be salvageable is the question. It can be. Yeah, both of these can be salvaged. Pause here for now. I'll probably try some overall 30s. Go back to the guy who was selling them. I think he has like 2 left. So, figure out what to do. I'm still a little discombobulated from coming back after such a long break. But hopefully, I can deliver on some hype next time, which should be soon. Alrighty, see you in the next one. Alright, I've gone ahead and changed channels here. Hopefully that, I don't know, does something. So we got some overall strength 30s, that's right. Go with the Pioneer. Overall strength 30. There we go. There we go. Let's see, if we just went like 60s or 70s, it would be 28, 8. What's like considered a good pirate overall? I don't even know. Like like 20 to 30 is like pretty good, and then over 30 is really good, or something. Right? I have no idea. Do I go over 30 on this? We have 3 more. Do we try for the Martini? I can't even wear it yet. Yep. Try once on this. Okay, boomed. That's too bad. That was kind of a good one. I'm afraid it's gonna explode. We just gotta do it. What would it even be for 19? 35 potential. Kind of need to make up for. I don't know. Alright, let's just do it. Drop to 30. God dang, dude. Oh, God. I just want to retire. Holy crap. Oh, God. I kind of need more decks. Since I got a dex prom right now. I guess I have to make some money, find some more pirate overalls, or go farm some. I think I can get some Wed Wyverns. I forgot which level that is. I think this is level 91, or the Memory Monk trainees, or not the trainees, the Memory Monks, the first ones. I could go there. I realized the early pap is like, I could do it, but it would just suck. So why would I? I don't know. Who cares? Let me just figure out what I'm gonna do. I'll catch you later. Alrighty, and we're back after a valiant effort for that embarrassment of a scrolling session. Just unbelievable. Get me off this game, man. Because it reminds me of the time when I went like 0 for 6 with 30s on the Iron Man. What the fuck? 6 30% blow, like 3 of them blow stuff up and the rest of them fail? Come on, dude. What is this game trying to do to us right now? Is this like a premonition for how this session is gonna go? And I definitely had instances with very similar ratios beforehand too. So are there specific recurring scroll outcome sequences that are set to recur beforehand? Hidden behind like the lie of so-called percentages we're seeing in print here? And maybe it's like the loss aversion talking, but something has got to have been done here. Because I've done things from passing like 5-10% in a row, 2 failing 660s in a row, 630s in a row, like I've got it all filmed. And I feel so certain right now that I've seen them pass and fail in the exact same order out in matching number attempts. And maybe that just comes from all the scrolling over the years and that's driven me to insanity. It's just so random and hard to work with to know when to dial back on, high risk to reward scrolls because I was going to try to go for at least 2 passes on that Pioneer, which turned out to be like a huge misplay in hindsight. I should have just finished the remaining 5 slots with 60s and 70s because there was a potential 25 strength there before I boomed it. And I actually just ended up buying a 22-7 Pioneer afterwards to cover for that mistake. So I had a chance to save 200 mil while also having like a 3 strength upgrade, had I not gotten greedy, depending on if it turned out well. Because you saw I had to fight a whole war getting just that single pass to go through on 1 overall. So that was definitely a bad play there. That's that's a little uncharacteristic even for a more reckless player like myself. I was just really banking on something at least for an overall since we got that dex issue. Luckily we could buy our way out of it, not have that problem anymore, and that means we can wear the 91 attack White Fangs and get a decent power spike from that, which will inadvertently kind of put us into trio Balrog range at the time. So here we go, we had one really amazing scrolling session and one really bad one here. Just getting back on the video topic here, just kind of sticking with that decision to focus down the more grindier, aspects of the game in this session, because I know as much as it sucks doing this for each fresh character, the way I saw it was that they're kind of like an inevitability, because if I want those, daily staples like CWK, PQ, Scarga, Helm Access, Pat Ellen, Shao, Neo Tokyo, etc., I know I'm going to do them all eventually, so it's kind of like a metaphor this episode for ripping off an old band-aid, I guess. I mean, they're all kind of grindy, and even these CWK prequests have me spacing out. We got Elpin's quest done, and now we're knocking out the remaining quests from John Barricade, Jack, and Lucan. The only really bad part of the sequence is probably just the hyperglyph fetch quest, because that one just usually takes me an hour at least, even on 3 times drop. We get our second death on this character as Stormbreaker's doing one of those Lucan quests. I just spaced out there, didn't manual pot, didn't keep track of my HP. So those previous grinds must have had me effed up or something, and auto HP is active from now on, because I ain't messing around anymore with that manual potting HP. Especially when I'm spacing out late into like a pretty grind heavy session. But in the end here we get access to CWKPQ, which is honestly kind of early because I need 140 to even wear a MoN. For one reason or another I thought I could wear this at 110, so there's another derp moment for me later when I tried to buy MoN Service thinking that was all proactive and stuff. Just at least we get a couple loots on MoNs. Didn't roll anything nice though. But we walked past the Typhoons, so I could easily hit these after I checked the accuracy calculator and get the idea to kind of grind here, because it was really good on our Iron Man. And a really nice spot we can stand on the spikes, not get knocked back, and we don't have to worry about falling anymore because I got that golden idol fast travel item. And just pump out to level 90 here to wear White Fangs, which makes me feel strong enough to go measure out ourselves at Balrog, or try to at least. And that's exactly what they go do. I was mainly concerned about how I'm basically late to the party now after not playing for, a while. I didn't have much reliable info to go off for this boss, whether it was going to be mechanically the same to how it was in GMS. But I was pretty certain that having a comp at least 4, true attackers would guarantee the run based on the strength I bring to the table on apples. Just the concern was that I wasn't seeing Balrog PQ Smegas nearly as often as I was before. So I was a little suspicious that most people had already farmed their 3-stat shoulders and were now beyond doing this PQ. I also got a little anxious about the player quality when there's a risk of low recruitment or interest in a piece of low level content. Would they listen? Can they adapt? Are they slow or fast at reacting? Can they play effectively on their own, or do I need to make frequent callouts? because from GMS this fight usually becomes like a moderate damage race into a fail by having too many deaths occur in a DR. The PK area was empty, so I smegged and actually managed to form up a trio attack comp. We got a Ranger, DK, and a Mage. Looks like I'll be leading. I'm just eager to roll on that shoulder, in gamer mode right there, and I want our run to succeed pretty badly. But I always try playing both perspectives in this kind of position, you know, just by reminding myself of my biggest pet peeve from bossing, which is getting micromanaged. I really do not like getting constantly told on stuff I'm already aware of or, you know, already doing mid-action. Because, you know, most people are, you know, aren't stupid, and it can come off as kind of talking down, you know, to someone else when I think it's done in excess. So, you know, my style is just to kind of emphasize, you know, pre-run callouts, and just kind of, for that singular one time when it actually happens, I'll call it out during the run. There are times like before the DR in this case where I'm specifically watching if that mistake happens, and I just rather watch something bad unfold that potentially kills a run to have it be like a learning experience and just kind of do a little post-run debriefing afterwards and, you know, have that expectation they don't make the same mistake again. So, you know, kind of do everything I can in that sense. I described what the DR animation looks like exactly, told them about the damage range aspect, and kind of emphasized how important it is for none of us to die as trio attackers, and just warned them about the spell spam, albeit this was still a pretty admirable first attempt, seeing as how, you know, all four of us was first timers at Balrog. And this is actually some of the most fun I've had on this character so far. I think this is a great boss that's, you know, kind of going to prepare less experienced players with all kinds of mechanics you'd run into later, commonly. I guess something they could actually fail at for the first time in the game despite putting in, you know, their 100%. Kind of gets you accustomed to playing inverted on Crazy Skull, you know, having the stamina to remain alert with the constant dispel spam and DRs. And it's honestly a lot all at once, especially to a newer player, I imagine. So we got 2 deaths apiece in the Ranger and Mage, and we end up losing both runs to the DR. So it's not a big deal. I'm already kind of glad we had the turnout and effort was there, and I can't knock them or be bad. Just more disappointed about having the shoulder being postponed, if anything. Just would have been nice to get those 2 rolls out the way for that 3-stat shoulder we're on the lookout for. But there's no way I'm not getting the shoulder next time, now that I've actually seen the fight. Ideally, we'll have high interest for our next mega, and just steer that comp towards a 6-man with, you know, 1 priest mage maximum. Because Ice, Lightning, Fire, Poison mages are good at a lot of things, farming related, but I don't think DPS or utility are among those things. Like, we've gotten 16-man, I think FP VL runs done here before, but those are probably, you know, the best mages here the server here has ever produced. The Ranger we had was probably unwashed because DR does 4 to 5k reflect damage, I think. And I know that Strafe only reflects 1 hit back because of done his V1 mechanics. Because BMs will switch from Hurricane to Strafe during DR, and I can SP triple throw right through it as long as I can take that initial reflect damage on auto pet HP. Fun fact, Hurricane fire rate is 8.33 arrows per second and 500 arrows per minute, which auto HP can't keep up with Hurricane. But no shame, I've been deleted off the map more times to DR than I can count on both hands. But anyways, we went right back to questing afterwards. Got the Alinea HP mats. It went no farther than Water of Life 5 for now, because that last fetch quest is kind of where it starts to get brutal, and I should not even be remotely caring about 100 more HP right now. 17k with HP at Balrog? That's nonsense. Finished up CWK prequests by now, and onto the next grind at Fantasy Park while I'm keeping an eye out for CWK's megas. Because I was thinking MoN was actually a priority here before getting the HTP, but I don't get a quest long here before finding our seller, standard price of 80 mil a run. Because the MoNs are 140, level 140 to wear, and it's just so crazy that I went for this thinking I wouldn't have to worry about an HTP after this. It must have been because they were level 110 to wear in GMS, but they're 140 to wear here. But I've also played here longer than I have on GMS at this point, so that excuse doesn't work either. That's just crazy. I've never felt more dumb in this game. So I was kind of poor at the time when I couldn't justify buying another run, so that might have been borderline bad manners, buying 1 out of 2 runs. Because I feel like I've been taught before that buyers should be buying both runs, so it doesn't put the seller in like a weird spot to smega again for replacement buyers, or like having to readjust their reward splits amongst the runners to account for that, you know, loss of a buyer. I just couldn't keep buying something I couldn't even use. And if it's 140, I'd rather just CWK the Night Lord and give a bonus loots to get the MoN on the buck to save money until we're strong enough to like stand in for a quad attacking squad or something. Because those 8 attack MoNs are honestly some of the rare things in this game. It must have taken me something around like 150 runs to find that one exceptional MoN, and that one was just 7 attack, you know, 10 ducks, 8 luck or something. But yeah, wrapped up Quest 1 at Fantasy Theme Park, and it has been a reset by now, so back on to Balrog attempt number 2. Smegas came through for us again, and managed to recruit a Thief, DK, and a Mage. Trio turnout once again, which felt kind of lucky since we were able to form up within around 5 minutes or so. But kind of the same deal as before, this run is already in the bag, so long as no one goes ghost, we need them the most. I recruited the mage, which was probably a mistake in hindsight since I assigned them bottom loot priority and they ended up dying on the second run. So 1k NX card was probably a waste of time and a disappointment for them. Having the run with us on this run was kind of contingent on them getting a shoulder reloot. So since I've been supplying apples and recruiting, I figured the Thief and myself would get 2 shoulders apiece, and the DK mage would ideally get 1 shoulder, 2k NX cards each. So this is no ordinary like glass cannon sin we had. They were washed and fully geared so they could attack right through the DR and with HP to be safe. So only the mage would ever be at risk for both of these runs. But this is kind of just like the supreme power of single target versus a hermit. Like on run 2 they appled while we were on stoppers and we got done with plenty of breathing room. I bet 2 hermits could 100% duo this on apples if they really wanted to, I think. So we got a 2 strength, 1 dex shoulder on our first loot, and that's a pretty bad stat line. But on the second run, second loot, drum roll, we get 3 strength, 2 dex shoulder already, second try. That's a really big weight lifted off my shoulders, if you know what I mean. So I will not be stressing on shoulders any longer if I do decide to farm some more of them pre-100. Yep, getting to the tail end of this Bucced Up. Just moving through the remaining Scarga prequests, and we'll be having a 70 ticket Gach voiceover after this. Winner for this option here because it's pretty nice EXP grind at our level. Passively just gives us level ups by doing it. I'm also going to want to attempt scrolling a Strength Scarlian helmet next session since we got tons of helm dex 60s and 70s, so that'll be kind of something I'm looking forward to. Also going to be intending on grinding Galloperas for a couple levels at least, so energy charge gets max rank, and I'll be able to feel comfortable with the charging speed and duration, just be able to try out a new skill like energy drain or something. Getting through these Vicrolas gets us to ding level 92, so I log into the NL to MW our int. Just gonna continue to do this each level up because not keeping up with MW can kind of defeat a big purpose of having 100 base int maybe. But you know, 1 extra MP each level, it's like 106 MP, so I don't know, like 9 more washes. Maybe it doesn't matter much at all. But the one thing that's for sure is I've definitely been overplaying HP and getting it. But yeah, while we were at the Booper Scarlians, I fat-fingered an apple while going for the MP recovery skill. So I just take a pause there and go to Galloperas on those apples. On that apple, I mean. And the EXP is absolutely insane here, as expected at this level, and I hit these no problem on sniper pills. I would grind and sell leech here in GMS, and I remember that this was like such an unpleasant place, and because of how popular this map was. These used to drop steelies, which were super sought after back then. It was, if I was lucky enough to secure a map, usually came with, you know, having to fight a KS war against invaders to keep the map out every hour. And that was just so annoying, especially against mages. Like I've said before a couple times that I think of myself as like a competition-seeking player maybe, but those were not like honorable or fair fights, especially when they'd start teaming up and bringing in their friends. Like sometimes I'll be grinding the entire time if a guy or person was super persistent in that map. But anyways, the energy meter charge speed is super fast now with this amount of mobs, and I can pretty much recharge it within a couple seconds now. We get the 15% EXP card set bonus here, and we grind the full hour on HS. Just gonna get 3 level ups here. Finding more and more that corkscrew is an insane skill that I think it's an unfair comparison to Rush because it's way better. Like I can use it to skip myself upwards or across onto platforms. I can surf between platforms here by jumping down and corkscrewing midair. And being able to release in midair is honestly the biggest like mechanical difference for me. Since I'm pretty sure that's the only way to push and pin off without, you know, consistent 75k KB damage lines since the room is in 0 gravity. Rush wouldn't work there, floating in the air, hence why I think why bucks are so crucial at ALF. And I would name my firstborn Neo Tokyo. Maybe I should use getting to Toad as my motivation. But another thing I want to touch on is this Shockwave canceling thing I've been doing. Like I've consulted every buck authority I know about or know of, and it was pretty much resounding. Definitely not worth it from all of them. There's one buck who's on the fence, and they said it might make a very small difference for like a high HP target or something. And my consensus, you know, pretty much agrees with that. And it is definitely not worth it and just a waste of magic rocks. So I've just been edging it when it's got a couple seconds left to cancel because otherwise the skill is way too brain dead to use. I was just thinking super hard throughout this grinding whether to skill Energy Blast versus Energy Drain, since the charging speed is actually quite fast now. They're both viable. I think Energy Blast would be much less annoying to use as an attack, and I just want to test out how Energy Drain works as well. See if it's a passive skill that's active when my bubble is up all the time, or like an active skill I have to press or something. Ultimately deviating from the build I've been following with Energy Drain first, since the single target charge speed is still just absolutely terrible, and I'd rather just Shockwave at that point. Yep, wrap up with Fantasy Theme Park here and the Scarga prequest as well, so we'll pick a place to Gach at next, and after that, we'll wrap things up again. So thanks again, and I'll catch you after. Hey yo, what's poppin'? Pretty productive grinding session there. I think we got like 4 levels. So I think we're gonna go Gach. Either gonna be a CVD for that Tire Totem or Mushroom Shrine for those Chaos Scrolls that we're gonna need later. Let's roll a d20 first. See what channel we're gonna Gach on. Channel 1? Okay. So moving right on over to channel 1. Let's go buy some Gach tickets. Then we can get 60 of them. Oops. Right here. 70, I mean. Okay, got a 70 Gach run coming up. Where do we go? Well, let's just think about it a little bit. We gotta craft with the Taru. I'm gonna be crafting Face Stompers most likely if we do get a totem. As for the Dex problem, probably gonna have to resolve that with a Horntail Pennant or something. But that's worth it, I guess. Let's see what happens now. It's a really bad spot where you miss because there's really not much to get out of CBD. Let's switch that hotkey again so you don't hear so much clicking. Yeah, see, like, these items are so bad. You just really gotta get a jackpot or something. Depending on how bad it goes, if it does go bad, I might leave. Go to Mushroom Shrine instead. Because holy moly, some of these are really bad. Hold on, jump. No Dex, it's useless. Yay! I guess. Oh, weapon attack, we'll keep that. Sad Mask. I'm wearing that now. Topper of Luck. Come on, Taro Totem. Alrighty. How many tickets we got left? I'm gonna go to Mushroom Shrine. Well, no point now. No point right now. Might as well just like finish up here, I guess. Yes! 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 Oh, yes! Yeah! Holy shit! That's so good. Yes! Okay, let's go make Face Stompers. We need 50 steel plates. Some dragon skins and a Chaos Scroll, but holy shit. Let's go get a... Oh, yes. Okay. Calm down, man. Let's go to Mushroom Shrine now. See, the D20 works. The D20 works. The D20 has spoken. Let's go to Mushroom Shrine. So I went with the energy build, the energy drain build, as you saw. A lot of people were suggesting that I max out transformation, but I think transformation's a flat 2 minutes, and I don't care about, you know, weapon and magic defense. I will have to max it though for super transformation, I think, because that needs 20. But for now, we'll just keep energy drain, put points into there so it's useful. But let's kick it off at Mushroom Shrine. See if we can get lucky once again. Here we go. What, 30 tickets I get at Mushroom Shrine? Just about. Let's go. Okay. Come on, Chaos. Come on, Chaos. At least, you know, getting one hit right now would motivate me somewhat to get on the game more often. because I want to get like a chaos thing that I actually care about. Bottom for dex 70 is pretty good. Pet equip for, oh shoot, I should have taken pet equip for HP. Come out. Come back to me. There we go. Dagger 30 is pretty nice. Is that it? That's it. Well, that Taru totem was pretty major. I was actually not expecting that to happen and already like waved the white flag about to leave. Now, gaching that chaos scroll or scrolls and forging face stompers is my new #1 priority. So there's some big item scrolling next time, guaranteed. We're a few hours of Hime's away from level 100, so I also need to think about filling the 5 dex gap to make the switch to KC soon. So I will be scrolling for a 100 plus KC regardless. There should be plenty of action along with the Scarred Helm next time. Finishing up, I go for Dreamy Ghost here and run to like spawning 5 Black Crows. The XP is like absolutely insane here, as expected, so we'll probably be grinding hard, maybe starting out here next session. I can't really be bothered with clearing a crow right now, and this boss's high avoidability would turn this into like a 90-minute, 1000-pot HP slog of a nightmare. Just repeatedly just punch each other in the face till one of us dies. So I leave and just go look for some Headless Horsemen instead. Like I know I said some really ambitious things like level 90 Bigfoots and maybe a Papalotus, but now I feel more and more like doing that kind of stuff would be really pointless and stupid than it would be actually impressive. Like I could totally farm, I don't know, 200 people pops and Shockwave down bosses for 2 hours. But I also remember I tried doing something similar on the Iron Man Dark at like level 103, and I got so mad from Papalotus going iframes for 40 minutes total out of that 90-minute fight or something. I actually had to delete and re-upload because of how pissed I sounded during that original voiceover. It's gonna be so bad and like unwholesome. I already foresee it, I know it, so not right now. So yeah, just my bad about not bringing either of those this time. They both might actually be a possibility for next session though if we can just get the gear and level ups. So no false promises. And these HCs are really weird to fight because our ungeared Iron Man Dark at level 91 was killing these in 5 stoppers, so I feel like I should be killing these so much faster than I am. On apples too. What I really think is the incredibly, slow Shockwave animation. It's just like a snail. I could have gotten 3 Spear Crushers off the time it takes me to get 1 full slam down. These 20k lines are tricking me into thinking I'm actually doing big DPS when I'm actually super underwhelming at a single target currently. Because my strategy right now is basically just let HH push me back as I spam Shockwave, and this method I call it the shot by a machine gun method. Because usually it's the other way around and players are the ones pushing the boss back. So this was certainly different. And once my meter is charged up, I just stand on top of the boss to trigger Power Guard for DPS, just a little bit extra. Rinse to repeat that, and wow, am I tired of this Shockwave ability. I am so tired of this ability. So we went through an entire saga this time around on this Bucced Up. And I just want to say thanks to anyone who's still stuck around to this point. I'll definitely shoot for a shorter wait for the next one. And also just want to say thanks for any comments or feedback y'all are leaving. I truly appreciate and enjoy reading them. But that'll do it here for me. Hope you all stay well in the meantime, and I'll see you in the next one.